It's the weekly breakdown.
Woo!
Number 164.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. We're here. We're going to talk about a few fun things. Going to talk about that Cyberpunk. Finally got a look at Cyberpunk 2077. Xbox is getting weird. Interesting. Talk a little bit of Destiny 2 and some music. We haven't talked about that in a while.
You do have that game now.
Yeah. Also, this is probably the last weekly breakdown recorded right here.
Chronologically.
Things don't get a little bit different here.
Just a wee bit.
Soon. Which is cool. I'd say where we're going to do things in the future will hopefully be set up a lot better for those things. Yeah. That's my ideal plan
do you have
to
like
get it to that point.
Do you have like a space?
Yeah.
Kind of art? Nice.
There's a space that we're going to turn into like an office, which I'm going to turn into like a office / studio, if you want to call it.
Okay.
To do these things.
Coolio.
So, we'll see. But anyways, it's fun. Let's talk Cyberpunk 2077. We finally got our first look at it. Due to high demand, CD Projekt Red released the 48-minute gameplay demo that they showed the press at Gamescom and E3. And yeah.
Now, I do have a question. Do we know what this was done on? I'm assuming a PC. But
I would assume.
It's always.
Okay. I would assume, because for a brief second I was like, if this is out here, does that mean this can happen this generation? But if it's PC, it can maybe still be.
I think this game will be out on a PS4. I do not know or really think it'll run too well on it.
Probably.
For things, yeah. So this is the new RPG from CD Projekt Red, who made The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and most notably that game, but first two Witchers as well. Hype for this game is through the fucking roof.
Oh yeah.
I would say the most hype for a video game behind Red Dead Redemption 2 right now. And yeah, what do you guys think of it?
I really liked what I saw. Because I mean, there's usually a lot of buzzwords or seeing things like this. I'm usually very cautious because the demos are closed thing and it can always just kind of look. But I mean, if it's always this thing, like I said with the Red Dead 2 trailer, if the game even looks like this, even though they constantly plaster on the screen as this game is a work in progress and whatnot, if it even looks even partially like this, I mean, this game's got nothing to worry about. The visuals are beautiful, and you can just tell there's just a lot of time and care put into everything from a visual standpoint.
Yeah.
And the levels of customization looks cool, and also the combat physics looks cool, like ricochet bullets and auto tracking bullets and things like that. Just make it it looks fun. I was kind of intrigued by this game. I wouldn't say I was hyped for this game prior to this. I was intrigued by this game, and now I'm like, all right, I'm all about this now. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the thing with me with this game, just watching that quest, is everything you do matters. Literally. The choices in Witcher 3 are awesome, and they really impact your game. And I feel like CD Projekt Red looked at The Witcher 3 and went, that's cute. Let's just take it up to a whole nother level of just the smallest things matter. Okay, she gave me the chip so I can get the thing. Do I just keep the money and run? Do I try to kill them to take it? Do I do something different when I get to the weird guys that want to be machines with the bot? There's a whole bunch of decisions there. Even the smallest things, even the smallest dialogue choices I choose mean something. There's nothing, at least right now, and it could change, with the dialogue of this is a good choice, this is the bad choice. They're all just choices. And everything looks to be so natural. What do you want to do? Put yourself in the shoes of this character. And that's the thing to me that has me way more excited than anything. The gameplay looks awesome. But the gameplay, especially towards the end of it, we saw was a very high-end character who knows how long it'll take to get there. I'm not saying, the other things don't look cool, but, ricocheting bullets, slowing down time, all that shit looks great. But it's the choices that I think look awesome. And just that world, just that Night City looks pretty dope. The reason why I'll be shocked if they get this running on a base PS4 model, because the amount of detail in that was like, I have never seen anything like this. And all of these characters, NPCs, have their own schedules to make it seem very alive and real. It's like they walk out there and there's just so many people and so much detail and literally every nook and cranny of this game so far. I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Holy shit. What do you think?
It was interesting because right off the bat, I think it looked very good. I didn't see anything that I haven't seen before, if that makes sense. Like, overall it looked amazing, and the combination of everything together looked great. But, like,
yeah,
it's weird because, like, you look at a lot of different things, like, okay, well, there are some things, like, all the NPCs looking different, and, obviously it's a lot more advanced than, let's say, like, Morrowind, where Morrowind, everyone had their own schedules and had places to be and go to, like, shops and stuff. And now, like, that's been a thing. It's going to be more advanced. I guess this sort of thing is that this game is, like, taking all these things, like during combat, where you can slow down time. Like, a lot of games have done that. Or ricocheting bullets is sort of a thing, I guess, it's kind of been maybe tampered with. It's not, like, brand new. But I guess this demo is really just showing everything they're doing that's been done, and they're taking it to a next level, and they're putting their spin on it, which is kind of where I'm like, okay, that's why this game's going to take a while. That's why everyone at E3 came out with cum all over their pants. Because they said, like, this game was like, oh my god, it blew me the fuck away. I had to step back.
I think part of that was maybe E3.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
true. That's
like,
kind of what I was
there,
thinking.
You're hyped for everything.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, everyone was like so high on this game. Like, is it E3 or is it actually the game? And it kind of sucks that, like, journalists who have been to so many E3s still come out with like, oh, my fucking dick exploded. And I was like, just kind of relax and keep your composure and just talk about the game. But even like some of the people that aren't always like that, it's still like they said nothing but great things. But so I was sort of like, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. Like, were they going to introduce some like crazy fucking thing that I've never seen before? I'm glad it's not that. I'm glad it's familiar. It hits home. It's everything that should be in a game. They're jamming a lot of things into one game, and they're what they are jamming, and they're making a lot more advanced. And I love that. I'm glad it's not like some gimmicky sort of thing. Like, oh well, we're doing this in the game. It's a lot of stuff that's been done. They're doing it better.
It could be God of War like in a way of like God of War doesn't really do anything new. It just does everything so much better than everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they're adding like
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like I watched that 48-minute gameplay demo and I'm like, this looks fucking awesome. I'm gonna love this game and I want this game very badly.
Yeah.
But I'm not jizzing in my pants over it right now.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think the big thing with what they've shown off is that some games will do quantity, other games will do quality, or like focus on one, but they're like somehow focusing on both. Mm-hmm. They're putting like quantity of things in the game and they're focusing on the quality.
That was one quest that they did.
50 minutes, 50.
Pretty much.
But like the beginning was sort of a lead into it.
Sort of.
And then basically it was one whole quest.
And I watched that and I'm like, and then I go and think of The Witcher 3, how big that game was. I'm like,
yeah,
this game's going to be fucking 200 hours long.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm totally fine with that. The one thing that you kind of talked about, like decisions and stuff like that, I liked how everything was like leveled almost. Like it, like like tree branches, sort of like. Okay, I'm going through this one part. Like one, I say yes to that dude that I get in a Dexter, what's his name, car, and I say, yeah, I'll help you out with that. And then second, I choose to meet the whatever corpo contact, and then I choose to lie to them and say I'm alone. And then like each of those things, like it could have gone off, and it's like. Some games are like, okay, well, I'm going to say something and it'll impact me here and now, or it might impact me a little bit later, but it's very, like, video game-like. You know, like in a Mass Effect or something, I say this now, and later I might see the effect, but it's like, I know it's going to be one of two things. Like, it's very blocked off. Where this, it really feels like, okay, if I lie now, it could be used to my advantage, and it's like, constantly I'm seeing immediate effects of what I'm saying, and it's definitely, you know... And it has a huge impact, like, when you finally get to the place, like you were saying, like, do I want to bust in and shoot all these guys, or kind of want to go along with it? Like, yeah, so, like, the whole, that was, yeah, like you said, one quest and that many decisions, and, like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's just fucking crazy, because the amount of different outcomes that might happen could be fucking cool.
That's one of the things, like, especially after playing a game like Detroit, like, my thing with, like, with choice in games is like I want to see like so much more, because like playing Detroit also well, they cheat a little bit because you don't see everything, but you see the trees, and it's like you have to do a mission, you do it this way, and it'll be like, holy shit, that could have gone 10 different ways.
It kind of makes me think, like, what are the big decisions in the game? Like, what are the important things that are really like, I'm gonna sit there at the fucking screen and just be waiting forever, and like all the nuances to it. Like, there was some dude on the street trying to like sell you something, and like a prompt popped up, like you could answer him yes or no, or you could just keep fucking walking. Like, that was cool. The driving looked fine. I mean, I think they said they were like working on that or something. They were looking for people to like improve that sort of thing.
The one thing I'm curious of, and this is just me in how I kind of play games, like, okay, this game's based in a city. It seems like this city is kind of vertical, and there's a lot of different places to go in this city. Yeah. So it's a very dense sort of thing. Is that going to be a fucking bitch to navigate sometimes? Of like, I need to get here, and I have no clue how to get here. At all.
That could be I could see that being maybe.
You know, it's not a problem in The Witcher 3 because that's a very open game. It's very easy to get where you need to go.
Across the field.
Yeah. That's my only thing. I'm sure
they'll probably figure something
there's
out.
Smart developers. They probably play test the fucking shit out of this game, and they'll figure something out. But that was just one thought I had. That could be a potential thing. The other thing is if Jackie, your main guy in this, is along with me for 100 hours, I might want to just rip his fucking head off.
Yeah, I hope there are other followers.
Oh my god! Yeah. Like I think from what I've heard from from games being it, like, you know, CD Projekt Red, after all these demos, presentations, ask for feedback, and that's kind of the big thing that I think a lot of people are giving them feedback on, of like, this dude's voice kind of got on my nerves a little bit. So, and they have time, they have all the time in the world to dial that down a little bit if they need to, because I'm like,
I feel like after this, even I think people are going to give them the time. I know people want this game, but it's like, look, just if this is your vision, just make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. Just take your time. Like, I don't give a fuck. This game's not out for another 4 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could take 5 years for all I care. Do it.
One thing, and this is just me being just curious, and this is no slight at the developers and people working very hard in this game. I almost feel like, and the game looks beautiful, I almost think it could look a little bit better. I know this game is like fucking balls deep in development, but I almost wonder if they toned the graphics down just a little bit, just because of the shit they got for The Witcher 3.
I thought it was the art style. I thought that was a little more.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you could make the argument that like Fallout 4 is a pretty game because it has an art style to it. You know what I mean? But overall, it's fucking not the prettiest thing in the world. But I think that there is a great style to this. But there are certain things I'm like, I'm sure you could dial that up a little bit.
Like, could always
it's
be one
just
of those things
nitpicky.
like just early on, and because they did make sure I believe it was every half a second. They said that everything could be subject to change.
Yeah.
And every 2 seconds they mentioned, in case you forgot, this game is an RPG, and we're going to show you an RPG thing. Here's some loot. Here is a quest. That's what gamers like.
Yeah.
I'm like, But, yeah, I think they went about this all the right way. It just...
Yeah.
I don't see any mistakes in it. Like that's the cool part. Like there's something as a demo I'm like, I'm sure that's gonna change. I'm sure this might change. That could be a little better or something. But it's like, I mean, just the way they went about the whole thing. They didn't have to release any of this.
Right.
And like it all looked great. Yeah.
Looking forward to it whenever the fuck it happens. But take your time.
Wow. But it's fine.
Will this game be out on PS4 and Xbox One?
I agree with your sentiment. I think there's a possibility, but it'll kind of be like, I'll say it's maybe almost like how Destiny ended up. Or it was out on both consoles, but it'll get left behind really quick.
They said they're targeting these consoles, but that looks pretty damn demanding for these machines.
You think your PS4 sounds like an airplane now?
Yeah, exactly.
Xbox baby.
Speaking of Xbox,
baby.
Microsoft officially announces the Xbox All Access. What this is, lets consumer pay for an Xbox One X or Xbox One S in monthly installments when they commit to a 2-year Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass subscription. Essentially an interest-free console financing plan, Xbox All Access will last for a limited time. I didn't know that. And as early rumors suggested, appears to be only available in the United States. The Xbox One X bundle costs $34.99 per month for 24 months, while the Xbox One S bundle is $21.99 for 24 months. It'll basically be set up almost like if you bought a phone, and the Xbox One S plan will save you $132 in the long run. Xbox One X plan will save you $20 in the long run.
$34.99 a month?
Yeah.
That's almost $840.
Well, yeah, but that's
years.
for 2 years. But that's also for that's covering the cost of the console itself, which is
like $500.
It's like $500 plus $10 a month for Xbox Live and $10 a month for Games Pass.
Yeah, but still $800 some dollars a month. That's a fucking load of money. Just save it. Just save up for 2 years and like get a PC or something. That's always going to be the argument against Xbox One X. Like I'm always happy about that, but that's always going to be the argument.
Yeah, but you think about all your consoles, and you probably spent that much money.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about
the
Xbox One
over
X.
$1,000 on these
so
consoles.
you have to be locked in for 2 years of Games Pass. So say we weren't doing this plan, so that's $240 for Games Pass for 2 years, paying $10 a month, plus $500 for the console. So now we're at $740. And then Xbox Live Gold is $60 a year. So that's another $120. So we're at $860 total.
It's like I guess if you get the
that's
S,
a lot of money for Games Pass compared to Xbox Live, $240.
For 2
Kind of
years.
weird, but it's kind of
For
weird
2
when you
years.
put it out there. And
for
you
2
really
years,
think
but
about
then
it.
it's also
but
it's like I don't know.
pay that much for Netflix if for 2 years, Yeah. Netflix $10, maybe $12, whatever.
Depending on what you think is. Yeah, I actually really like this. I think this is like
it's interesting.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's especially with the way that Microsoft's been talking, some of like the rhetoric they've been using about the way they're going, and how they're just like, we're just gonna keep making things. It kind of works. It's like, here, instead of you end up saving, even if it's just a little bit of money, you end up saving some money in the long run, and it's, I think it'll work out. I don't know if I'll buy into it now. Maybe I'll see what the Xbox All Access thing in comparison when their next console comes out, and I'll see what it's like. And it's like, if they can keep Games Pass being like sort of worth it with like all the games that are just available to you and everything else, like who knows, like if all of like these Xbox exclusives going forward, because they're going to have a bunch hopefully after a while, are good, then it's like, well, I kind of need to keep Games Pass because I don't have to buy games anymore. That's 2 games on Xbox, and it's like, well, that's the other way to look at it too. It's like, bro, it's just you just don't have to, at least in terms of exclusives, you don't have to buy 2 Xbox exclusives, or you just
it's interesting, and the limited time thing in this article was, I did not know it was limited time, which I'm like, if it turns into be a successful thing, I don't think they're going to make it.
I think that's the thing. I think
they're just testing it for now to see how it'll go. But it's an interesting way to look at how people purchase consoles, because you might want to go buy an Xbox One X right now, but $500 plus maybe a game or Xbox Live if you wanted to get that too. I mean, that's a shitload of money all at once to drop. And if you're breaking it up, that might be an easier pill to swallow for some people than just slapping all this money down right there. But then also, like, I like the Games Pass thrown in with it, because, like you said, if they continue to invest in it, it's like, okay, I'm spending $35 or $22 a month for the Xbox, but there's a lot available to me right away. I would love if Microsoft, though, figured out a way to roll Gold and Games Pass into one subscription. And it might end up being that it's more expensive.
Yeah.
But I think in the long run, that's what you got to do if you're them. My one thought with this is like, okay, what happens when they're a year into it and they don't want to do it anymore? Like, they just stop paying, or, is there anything there to prevent someone from saying, I had this Xbox One X and now I'm going to go trade it in at GameStop? Stuff like that.
I would assume if they're doing this,
weird.
you kind of have to look into it, like, because, you can do all of that with your phone. It's just that, like, you don't get, like, a refund, and then it's like, oh, well, normally, well, then again, this is a little bit different, because normally when you trade in your phone, you kind of have to get another phone. But, like, I don't know, there's sometimes, there could be a thing in the contract where it's like, you're paying this. I mean, you're locked in for this 2 years, which is like, but yeah, I just like because again, it's the more of like a money management thing. It's like, dropping $500, or what is it, $300 for One S now? Probably probably $350.
I don't remember what it,
probably like maybe right around $350 or $400 or so. It's like, boom, that's like, man, that's a lot of money to just disappear, and use up. But it's like, oh, I just paid $25 a month. It's like, all right, that's, in the grand scheme of things, that's not that much, and it's like, man. And it's like, I'm already paying for games with Gold and Xbox Live, so it's like, yeah.
The only thing I wish is if you're dropping like $840 on Xbox One X, I wish you were saving a little more than just $20. Just a little more could kind of make it.
I think it'll be like I could see like this being like an evolving thing, like maybe in like a year or so you'll be saving a lot more. Yeah. It's like, again, because it's a lot with like the phone service thing. I mean, you don't save that much money bundling all stuff together and whatnot, but then like after a while it gets better.
I agree with you on that, because the Xbox One S plan, you look at that and you're like, wow, that saves me $130. That's pretty sweet. I'm in. But the $20, it's like,
yeah, they're kind of at the point where they're just trying to move the Xbox One, Xbox One S and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, to me, some of the things with Microsoft recently has been like a fuck it, why not sort of mentality, because they got to do something different, and it'll lead them to a very interesting spot, which I think we saw at E3 where that could be heading for them, with buying studios and setting them up with things like this. when the next Xbox rolls around, if they have something in place like this, it might be way better and easier to swallow for people to move on from the Xbox One if it's still...
Yeah.
If they can kind of finance it like this and pay a small amount per month, and then if it's still backwards compatible like they're saying, like they've said in the past that they're like, yeah,
really hoping,
we're hoping we can keep it backwards compatible. Because if you can buy into the next Xbox that might exclusively play games on the Scarlet, but you can keep your Xbox library with you, and then also have things available through Games Pass, like immediately. That's going to be
That's a little bit more worth the
way
money.
easier for people to go, I'm in. You know, fine. You know.
I mean, it is next generation will be the Xbox's generation.
It could be.
You should buy Pattern.
Like, I mean, PS4 one, Xbox 360 one, PS2 one. You know, it's the Xbox 2's turn, or whatever it's going to be.
Prior to that, I mean, I went to 64, PlayStation.
That was PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1 and 64 is like, yeah, but
I think PS1 sold 100 million units and N64 only sold like 32.
I think GameCube sold 300 million.
Yeah. Also, this is a really small thing that may or may not be true, but apparently internet sleuthers found out potentially what the PlayStation 5's code name might be.
Jackass.
It might be called Erebus, because I think it was Fortnite they were looking at, and it had all this stuff listed of PS4, Xbox One, Switch, Android, and then Erebus.
That could be Apple's thing.
It could be, yeah.
Who knows? And it could be something totally different, like Apple.
Yeah.
It's obviously not Xbox because we know that's Scarlet.
The Xbox Erebus.
But the one thing that made them lead to PlayStation 4 is that the past 3 codenames for PS4 hardware or PlayStation hardware has been Greek mythology sort of stuff, which this is.
Okay.
Because there was Orbis, I think, and Neo, and I'm forgetting the other one. So that's part of the reason. But yeah, there's not much to that, but
yeah,
maybe.
It's an interesting.
I find it fascinating so far how we have not heard really jack shit about what's happening with Sony.
In some ways, I'm okay with that, but in other ways, I mean, I know it's coming, but it's like I would rather not hear about consoles for 2-3 years and then it come out. I would rather, like, if the consoles are coming out in 2020, 2021, don't tell me until like
next year,
2020,
and maybe late next year.
Yeah.
Kanye West, 2020.
Yeah,
The Zuck might be running for president in 2020.
Isn't he dead?
The Zuck's not dead. He's a lizard
Oh,
person.
wait, no,
And he's a
I'm thinking,
robot.
I'm thinking Steve Jobs again.
Jeez, what is with you and Steve Jobs?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was a guy up on with a machine gun up on top. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Steve
Jobs is in Bloodborne.
yeah.
Just gotta pay attention.
Confirmed.
Yeah, confirm. He's not dead. His ashes got transferred into code for Bloodborne. I don't know.
God.
I am
Bloodborne
intrigued
have code?
by what that will lead to for Microsoft. Let's talk really quick about the roadmap for Destiny 2 Forsaken.
It's actually super.
The Bungie reveal.
Super interesting.
Yeah, they kind of went over a bunch of stuff for about 9 months in a way of different things, a timetable for what's going to happen.
9 months of underwhelming content.
Maybe. Well, I mean, yeah, who knows? But, so, there is the annual pass for Destiny 2 Forsaken. This annual pass will not have story content in it. It will have only endgame stuff. I think that's a smart decision.
That is the best idea that they've had.
Because everybody takes a dump on how there's not enough story content, us included.
Or the stuff that or when they do, it's insufficient. Is what the problem is.
Let's just get rid of it and focus on what people ultimately stick around for, and that's raiding, hard stuff, exotics, stuff like that. So,
rating hard stuff. I like your mom.
Yeah. Destiny 2 Forsaken launches on the 4th. On the 14th, the Last Wish raid goes live. Are you going to be ready?
No.
I'm not either.
Probably not. More likely than not, no.
September 18th, the first Iron Banner is back. We get a new Crucible map called the Convergence. September 25th, we get a new Crucible mode called Breakthrough, and then all the new Crucible maps go live. October, Festival of Lost returns with a twist.
You get fucking helmets and Halloween masks for 2 seconds that fucking give up on, or they're only temporary or whatever. You run around, do a bunch of horse shit, doesn't matter in the long run.
Who knows?
Probably.
To me, that's always been the worst event.
Where's the Thanksgiving turkey?
Yeah.
Gobble gobble, motherfucker.
December 2018, we get the Season of the Forge.
Christmas?
Basically.
Yeah. We get heavy...
Bring back Christmas.
Yeah. Well, they're bringing back the Dawning.
Happy holidays.
The Dawning is back.
Dawning event's going to be back. Heavy machine guns are coming back.
There's a war on Christmas. That's the Destiny December event. War on Christmas.
Yes. New weapons, Crucible content, Iron Banner, that stuff.
New weapons.
We will get an annual pass drop called the Black Armory. With access to the Black Armory, new Forges of the Chain activity, a new raid lair, new exotics, new legendaries, new triumphs and collections, and bonus rewards. Wonderful. Spring 2019, Season of the Drifter. Kind of the same deal, with an event. And we get the Joker's Wild with a new activity experience.
It's gotta be Easter.
Gambit evolves, new exotics, new legendaries, blah, blah, blah.
Raid lair or no raid lair?
No raid lair.
Okay.
Summer 2019.
Trophies.
Season of the Blank. Not identified yet.
Oh, okay.
They
Is
don't-
it,
they
so it's
don't know
called?
it yet. But it's gonna be something. And then we get the Penumbra update, which is a new activity experience. Whatever that means, a new raid lair, new exotics, blah 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 blah.
Well, at least it's detailed out, you know?
At least they know what they're shooting for.
The biggest joke that I think I heard from the Destiny 2 launch was like, yeah, the live team's going to be putting fucking work in. And I'm like, yeah, fucking right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's cool. Like, that they're just, at least that there's, like, a roadmap. And sure, there's probably going to be people who are not happy with some of the stuff. Like, I know that some of the stuff in each season is free.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder if, like, Heavy Machine Guns coming back is free. I don't have to be free. Okay.
That's free.
That makes sense. And, like, maybe some of the modes, like Crucible game modes, but, like, you know, getting exotics and the stuff. I can understand that being, you know, behind a wall. But at least, like, it seems like every couple of weeks or a month, every few months, it's like, here's something. And it's like...
What they need to do is drop more also... what I think the community would love is if they dropped more things like the Whisper of Worm and Sleeper Simulant back in the Taken King. Just like these crazy ass exotic missions or mysteries. Those things are really fun. I would love if they dropped
the one
more of
with the one that we never actually like completed in Destiny 1, but the No Time to Explain was one that was like that. You had to do stuff like that stuff would be cool. I like what I'm hearing. Here's the thing. I like Destiny enough. I was probably going to buy into and get the annual pass eventually anyway, but now I'm like, all right, I can see this because like you get 2 raid layers. You're basically getting again, like you said earlier, everything everybody cares about from Destiny, because you know, except for the big expansions, they've proven that they can't do story.
Yeah. And the concept of raid layers is nice, you know, to me, and I think it's smart for, like, yeah, of course you're gonna want main full raids. But if they can craft a tighter, smaller experience to get them out quicker,
yeah. I think Eater of Worlds is my favorite raid experience that we've ever done. It's up there.
It's fucking wild. I love that.
Like the whole thing is just great. Like now the Spire of Stars, we would have finished it. I mean, that would have also been really cool. But I still think maybe Eater of Worlds was better. Yeah. But like, yeah, it's. They're great because, I mean, theoretically, 3 hours, you beat it, and you're done.
Yeah. I mean, it's in between a strike and a full raid.
Yeah, you basically get, what, 2-3 encounters plus the jumping puzzle, and then you're done. There you go. There's the raid.
See, that shouldn't be a thought.
What, the jumping puzzle?
That every raid has to have a jumping puzzle.
Well, you know it is.
I know, and that sucks.
It is how every raid... Well, no, Crota's End didn't have a jumping puzzle.
No. Crota's End was kind of like a raid layer, if you really think about it.
It really was. It was really short.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there you go. Yeah, because it's the only other one that came out like the raid layers that currently exist, so... But...
Do you did Crota's End?
Yeah, I did all the raids except for the last Wrath of the Machine.
Yeah, I wish we did that one. It sounds cool.
We could always go back and do it.
I still got Destiny 1.
You do?
I do.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
I should.
And there's still people asking about it in those raid communities.
There is, yeah.
So you could probably find somebody, maybe.
Yeah. What was I listening to? I was listening to IGN's Destiny show, Fireteam Chat, and they ranked all the raids. And they went... it was interesting. I mean, we haven't played all of them, but they went Vault of Glass.
And last?
First.
Oh, yeah, I would agree.
Vault of Glass, King's Fall,
Yeah.
Wrath of the Machine, Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
Which one was Leviathan?
Leviathan's the one for Destiny 2.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I'm missing one. Am I
Crota's
missing?
End?
Oh, I think Crota's... Okay,
There's only 3 more raids.
Yeah.
There's only 3 more raids left.
So then they went Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, Spire of Stars, Crota's End. But they had Crota's End in the middle of the pack for nostalgia for a while, but then they ended up going like, well, when you really think about raids in Destiny, Crota's End is definitely on the weaker end, even though it has some really fun, cool parts. You know?
Yeah.
Like the beginning.
I would agree with that. I mean, the only thing is I'd probably put, at least of the raids that we played, I still might put Eater of Worlds up a bit higher.
Yeah, I mean, we played
4 of them.
4 of them. I would go, out of the 4 we've done, I would go King's Fall, Vault of Glass, Eater of Worlds, Crota.
Yeah. And then...
King's Fall is, dude, like, there's a lot of boss fights to that, and they are somewhat mechanic heavy. That fucking thing's so cool. I don't know. I love it. Especially, like, the fight against, like, the War Priest. It's fun.
I always loved Golgoth. Was my favorite against the ogre. That was always my favorite. I just loved that one.
I don't like the
witches.
The witches.
Nah.
Fuck them. They're not fun. But
Oryx was pretty alright.
Oryx is neat. Very neat.
It's a different concept. It's like, look, you can't actually damage him.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the mechanic stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, all right. Fine.
And I guess... See, I think I would even put Spire of Stars over Crota, even though we haven't finished it.
Yeah.
It's a neat thing. It's just... I don't like to talk about it.
It's
an
unhappy day.
So frustrating.
Unhappy day for all.
Can you throw an orb? Are you good at throwing orbs? You should join us.
All you gotta do is be able to throw. All you gotta be able to do is, which granted I will also admit that once or twice I was bad at this, at standing still, turning 180 degrees, and hitting the right trigger.
That's it. That's all you need to do.
If you do it right, that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
I think Vault of Glass was my favorite.
Vault of Glass is really good.
Protozyne was...
It's really short.
It's the one that I kind of remember the most of, which is strange.
I think it's because we tried for a really long time to do it on hard mode. And we were in the same spot over and over, and then we just never did it. We said, fuck it.
Yeah, Protozyne was memorable, sometimes for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
It's everyone getting mad at each other.
But I think about Protozyne now, based off of other raids that we've done, I'm like, Jesus, that's probably a piece of cake.
Oh, probably.
If we went back to do it and we had a decent team, like, none of those mechanics are hard.
No, not
And it's not even very mechanic driven at all.
No.
You know?
It's not. Like, you can... I mean, a lot of it... Now the raids are, like, super mechanics heavy, and it's not about surviving. Back then, it was, like... It was just surviving.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why I like King's Fall more than the other ones, because I like boss fights more than I like mechanics.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, some of these boss fights are becoming so mechanic heavy.
Yeah,
that it's
like
sometimes overly annoying.
Like
Spire Stars.
Spire Stars is like
it shouldn't have been as difficult as we made it, but it's still
there's like 7 or 8 steps.
There is a ton of steps before you can even shoot the fucking boss.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just
I wish Destiny just gave us a rock solid fucking boss fight where it was like, this boss has a lot of health, you can damage him at any time, really, but he'll fucking wreck you, you know.
It's like
or just
do like a thing like
be fun,
like you can kind of do with most of the boss fights in Destiny 1. It's like you can kind of damage the boss at any time, but you got to do a thing to do more damage,
the extra damage, yes.
to do like the super damage that you really need. Like that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how like all of the Atheon and the
Atheist.
War Priest. Yeah.
We will eventually finish Spire Stars and Leviathan. I know we will at some point.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll probably do the Dreaming City stuff, but yeah. God damn it.
Right.
I'm looking forward to playing Game It though.
Before the depression
Yeah.
sinks in.
Let's talk about some music and let's get out. Here's a good bit that happened recently. First of all, I thought there was 2 things.
The guy from We Came as Romans died.
That's what I was just gonna pull up because I thought there was someone else that passed away as well.
I mean,
not me.
John McCain.
But
yeah, John
no,
McCain.
it was John McCain.
Yeah, John McCain was
Because they passed away the same day. So yeah,
the
singer of We Came as Romans, Kyle Pavone, died of an overdose.
An overdose.
Apparently.
Oh wow.
On Saturday, August 25th, we lost
they
our
were
son,
Christian,
our
man.
brother, our best friend, and bandmate in an accidental overdose. The opposite of addiction is connection. If you're feeling disconnected or lost, there's help. Please take action. Whether that is talking to your family or friends, meeting with your counselor, or joining a support group. If you are a friend of a family member of someone who is struggling, do not be silent. That is from We Came as Romans. So, and there is a Kyle Pavone Foundation that is going to be started to help with that sort of thing. So that's nice, but that's a shame. He was very young.
28. I
28.
think I read, yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
That sucks.
That's a shame. Very much sad there. Sticking with the sad news, Vinnie Paul died of an enlarged heart in heart disease, and which led to him, I believe, having a heart attack in his sleep.
Okay.
So he had an officially dilated cardiomyopathy. It's a big word there. And severe coronary artery disease is what he had. I mean, I wonder if that came from that dude partied hard.
Yeah.
That dude drank a lot and that
Being
stuff.
from Texas.
Hey man, he lived the life. He lived the life he wanted to live, for sure.
There are a lot of people
But,
that die from heart disease in Texas.
Yeah.
Like Houston is one of the biggest cities for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's some,
But still,
according
both...
to Charles, what's his name? Charles Barkley, the basketball player. San Antonio's got some big old women.
Yeah, they do. They do. But yeah, both of those stories are very, very sad indeed. Let's see. There's a lot of tours that have been announced as well. Unearth, Fit for an Autopsy, The Agony Scene in Traitors.
That's weird.
Touring.
Unearth and Fit for an Autopsy. I wouldn't imagine they would go together. But
No.
that's cool. Maybe introduce some new people to either band.
Yeah, agreed. In The Agony Scene, they were a metalcore band in the early 2000s. Then they broke up, and then they came back this year.
They're back on the scene.
Cool.
Hey. Let's see here.
Jimmy Rivera.
Jimmy Gabe.
This is the first time I've seen this story on here. A Texas couple has been arrested for allegedly leaving their 11-year-old daughter at home alone while they traveled hundreds of miles to see industrial metal band Godflesh perform. According to the court documents, the girl's parents, I'm not going to read their names, left their home Wednesday, August 22nd to attend a Godflesh concert that night in Detroit, Michigan. They're from Texas.
Fuck.
Authorities were alerted to the situation by the girl's great aunt, who called the child and was informed that she has been home alone since the previous morning. After attempting to contact her parents, deputies visited the home and found the girl trying to cook.
How old's the?
She's 11 years old.
I mean, that's not as...
That's not terrible, but like...
It's not as bad as like a 5-year-old, but still, she's 11
it's like,
years
she's
old.
11. You shouldn't...
Yeah.
It's good that you know how to, but you shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, the mom's sister was supposed to check on the little girl, but did not.
You sound like fucking stupid people.
Oh, God. You can't be doing that.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that.
That is kind of crazy. Also, couldn't you just wait?
Who would drive hundreds of miles to see God? Who the fuck is God?
I don't know. They've been around for a while. Dude.
Also, it's like...
Still.
I
Oh
mean...
my God.
It's
It's
gotta
not-
be a closer show.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, eventually they'll probably come back around.
And it's not like it was like your last chance ever to see like Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Then I might leave my 11-year-old daughter.
Then it'd be like,
that was a joke.
officer, do you understand?
But, like,
I had to go
could-
see Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, Brucey D.
But couldn't the parents of
Be
the
there.
11-year-old kid, if the sister needs to check on him, take the kid
Yeah,
to the
just leave
sister's
it.
house
Yeah, like...
and then leave?
that's like,
I
yeah,
don't
it's...
know. That's
It's
crazy.
When you say great aunt, for some reason I didn't think like great aunt like
She's a
something-
great, she's a great aunt.
Like a great aunt.
Yeah.
Like great dog.
I don't... Some people shouldn't have kids.
Yeah.
They probably shouldn't have. Is there a picture of them?
Mm-hmm.
Look like meth users or something? They look methed out. They have neck tattoos.
Alright, fine. I'll let you judge that. I'm not going to say.
Oh! Alright, yeah.
Well...
The
okay.
guy looks
Okay.
like he would be part of some like pagan shit. And she looked like... She looked like... I don't know.
Hey, man. They just drove from Texas to Michigan. They might drive from Texas to PA.
They might drive from Texas to fucking jail.
I was gonna say they're probably gonna... Yeah, they gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
They,
She looks kind of methed out.
Mm-hmm.
just a
But
little
he
bit.
looks like a fucking grand wizard or some shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Isn't that the KKK thing?
Yes, guess
Okay,
KKK
okay,
thing.
never mind. Great wizard.
Great wizard.
I was gonna say great wizard.
Great wizard.
Not good enough to teleport him and his methed out honky wife to Michigan, but I mean, what the fuck you want me to say? That's the 11-year-old daughter at home. I'm gonna make fun of him. That's what I do.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Like they're
It's the
pieces.
same reason I
it's a
make
piece
fun
of
of
shit.
like, remember Ray Rice?
Yeah.
He like knocked out his wife or girlfriend. I make fun of him all the time because he do something.
Stupid.
It's free real estate.
Bunch of fucking idiots.
When you put your ass out there, it's gonna get slapped.
Alright.
Very misogynist of you.
Just based on how we were talking about Louis C.K. earlier, that sounds wrong, like in the context of things.
Yeah, you know. What are you gonna do?
I didn't mean it that way. I meant just like a friend slap on the ass.
Like friendly ass.
Friend slap. Yeah.
Motivational. Good job.
Motivational harassment.
As LA Dying is going on tour, right?
Yes, they're doing.
Who did they get?
They got some bands to open up for them now.
Really?
I
Okay,
know.
I'm super curious to see who these bands are.
I saw one or two of the bands.
So in Europe, it's going to be Era and Make Them Suffer. In the United States, it's going to be Within the Ruins
That's
and
what it was.
Kingdom of Giants.
That's it was Within the Ruins.
Which I'm pretty sure Kingdom of Giants is breaking up soon. But
Why is their
because
singer- their
I
singer
mean,
going
after
to
this
jail?
tour, I probably would too.
Yeah.
it's like well, fuck.
But interesting. I mean, that was one of the things we talked about. Like, who's going to be willing to be the first bands to go out with As I Lay Dying on tour?
I mean,
But
when
guess
you
it doesn't matter.
when you look at the money, I mean, what their comeback show sold out in like 4 minutes.
Yeah,
So it's like, I mean,
both
people
shows,
are still gonna go see them.
Yeah, both shows on their United States and European run are selling out. In Europe, they actually had to upgrade some of the venues to bigger spots. Like, people want to go see As I Lay Dying. There's a demand for it.
I wonder if it's like genuine, like, I mean, there's gotta be some who are like, you know, As I Lay Dying is a great band, I want to go see them. I wonder if there's any, like,
black metal fans.
I was gonna say morbid curiosity, like,
yeah,
how much of a shit show is this?
Who knows? Who knows?
Like, do they hate each other? Like, what's happening? Well, granted, if you looking at like interviews and things like that, it seems like they never hated him.
I would,
or they kept it, or they would like purposefully keeping it vague in case Woven War didn't work out, and they could, you know, just still do As They Lay Dying.
I would go just to egg him on stage, like wait in line and get up front. He's like, "Hey, aren't you guys mad that he kind of split up the band for a while?" And just heckle him, like, "Hey Tim, go back to jail."
Yeah.
You know, those classic
Hey
heckles.
Tim, I'd heckle at you, but you might hire someone to kill me.
Nice man tits.
Now, some of these
knock you out for
shows,
that one.
yes, they are selling out. Some of these shows are selling out, but I also read that they did book very small venues.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's smart.
Just to be safe, which is smart. But there is demand to see As I Lay Dying again.
Dude, soundstage.
I wonder.
Come to soundstage, I'd consider it.
Yeah, I wonder if there's some, promoters out there that would refuse to book them.
I know Metal Sucks is refusing
to
even talk about As I Lay Dying, but which, you know what, good for them. You know, do your thing. If you stand up for what you believe in. I mean, if you think that what he did is
wrong,
irrevocable. I mean, it is wrong, but I mean, like, irredeemable. That's
well, us normal people where it's wrong.
Irredeemable?
Yeah, us normal people say wrong.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe you should come to the soundstage. I'll fucking fight him. I'll fight you. Come to the soundstage, cunt. I'll fucking fight you.
Speaking of the soundstage,
2v1 me, cunt.
You want some throwbacks here?
No.
Atreyu is going to put out their new album In Our Wake, October 12th, and they have a tour with Memphis, Mayfire, Ice Nine Kills, and Sleep Signals.
Memphis Mayfire, wow.
Yeah. What are you going to say?
I don't know. The what was the name? The new album just sounds like, I don't know, really generic name.
Yeah.
In Our Wake.
Yeah. I put on
our shittiness
because I totally forgot about Atreyu as a band, and so I put him on the other day, and I was like, man, that's a throwback.
Yeah.
Fucking Becoming the Bull, man.
What TP says before he fucks shit.
That's a goddamn throwback.
Becoming the Bull.
What may come as no surprise, Slayer's final tour is going to go all the way through.
I thought they already had a final tour.
No, they're still doing it.
Jesus
It's going to go
Christ.
all the way through 2019.
Yeah,
because
it's just going to keep going for eternity.
Because Africa.
Dollars.
Also, they're going to Africa, aren't they? That was what I think. I thought
Why
they
are
said
they going to Africa?
I don't know, they said they're
there?
I don't know. There's got to be places you
I
can go
guess
to
so.
in Africa. I think it was like, that was like the one continent they didn't go to. Like, they went over Europe and here and everywhere
Metallica
else.
played in Antarctica.
They did. I think they're the first band. I don't know if they're the only band. I would be surprised.
Bruce Springsteen played in the North Pole. For all the elves.
Well, fuck him.
He got his cock out, too.
You know, never mind. I'm not gonna go there. That's an off video.
Bring Me the Horizon's going to release their new album, Ammo, January 11th.
Yeah.
They have a new song called Mantra.
I like it. I think it's good.
It's a rock jam.
Yeah,
I thought it was alright.
Yeah.
It has a hook to it that'll get stuck in your head. They also announced a tour for early next year. No like support acts have been announced yet. But
Cool Machine Head is a night with Bring Me the Horizon where it's just them for 3 hours.
I feel like they're announcing their album like extremely early.
Yeah,
I mean,
like you,
August
normally,
to January. Holy
like
shit!
normally this is like where like somebody's like, yeah, we're getting close to finishing,
yeah,
and then it's like you'll hear about it in October.
yeah. Like typically
how I
bands announce their album, and it's like maybe a month and a half to 3 months max until it's out.
Yeah.
And this is, I know they're a huge band.
It's a full
though,
6 months,
but
almost.
it's a long time. But look forward to new Bring Me the Horizon in the future. The Contortionist is doing a pretty cool tour. They're doing a headlining tour called the Reimagine Tour. They are bringing out intervals on this tour, and they are going to be playing two sets.
In intervals.
Yeah, the Contortionist is going to play 2 sets. Where is it? It was right here. Literally, it was
2 sets.
Whatever.
Per show?
Yes. We want to include our fans in an experience reflective of the Contortionist's wide range of dynamics, not only on the scale of the heaviness or intensity, but in tone and texture. Our goal is to invite the listener closer to the show ourselves in a fresh new way for our fans. Basically, what they're doing is they are going to play a normal set, and then they are going to do like a more toned down, almost acoustic like set, and reimagine old songs or play some of the newer songs that way.
They sort of did that on the deluxe edition or whatever of Language. Like the last couple songs they had like this reimagined, where they just kind of did the same songs off the album but sort of a little bit different.
Yeah. It's a cool concept.
Yeah.
I think they could pull that off really well.
I wonder what the texture part's gonna be.
Yeah. Like, I wonder, do they play anything off of like Exoplanet? How do you do that toned down? Like, you really got to change some things. I mean, you're going to go out and play Vessel acoustically.
What would that sound like on an acoustic guitar?
Nothing will survive. It's just this acoustic guitar. That'd be funny. And last thing, late November, early December, Killswitch Engage, Born of Osiris, Crowbar, and Death Ray Vision are going on tour. It's in Reading. Bam. The reverb. Yeah.
Killswitch is always playing at the Reverb. Every time I hear them going on tours, they're coming to the fucking Reverb. Which, I mean, that's great. That's like, not that far. It's like an hour drive.
I would see Killswitch. I would see Crowbar. I would see songs here and there from Born of Osiris. I don't even know who Death Ray Vision is. Yeah. That's
Guys
it.
That Lay Dying should be on that tour.
You should. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff happening. Oh, also, Darkest Hour.
The movie?
Darkest Hour, Damnation AD, Cemetery Piss, Walk the Plank, and No Man are doing 4 shows in November.
No man.
Around, and they're all around here. One that's just funny. Cemetery Piss, Hardcore Punk Outfit, Walk the Plank, and Upstairs, No Man. Oh no, I read that wrong. Upstarts.
Upstairs, No Man.
That's a new genre.
Upstairs. Well, that doesn't make
Compared to
sense.
downstairs music,
Yeah.
Upstairs music, it's like it's
upstairs.
It's like metal except uptuned instead of downtuned.
A couple levels above everyone else.
Yeah.
We start a band. We're gonna uptune our guitars, so it somehow sounds happier when we play brutal death metal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's cool stuff happening.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff.
There's some great shows
It's like 3
between
in, like, the next
now
month
and the
a
end of the year.
It's like 3 that I'm going to in the next month and a half.
There's at least 10 that I would love to go to if I had unlimited money and time. I mean, it's almost like there might be I don't want to, because I don't think there will, but That's a lot of saturation if literally almost every metal band is touring between September and November. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just
That my nipple.
a lot.
It is.
You know? I know there's different fans of different genres and different bands, but still, you know, there is some of that crossover, so you really got to pick and choose. But hey, that's fine. But I just feel like this fall and even this year has been better for tours than maybe last year or the year before.
This year's
It's
had
been-
a pretty good number of tours.
Yeah, like there's been more this year that I've been interested than definitely last year.
Yeah. I think last year I only went to 2. Epica,
You have to be more than 2.
Metallica,
It's 2.
Ghost,
Iron Maiden,
Maiden, and
4.
Megadeth. Okay,
5.
fine, I went to 4.
That's 5.
What?
5.
Okay, maybe that was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lamb of God was like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6.
It was 2 years ago. It's not 6. That last year,
It's 2.
buddy.
2 plus 6 is 8.
Minus 5 is 3.
Plus 7 is 10.
Oof.
Minus 10 is 0, and that's how much time we have left.
Fair enough.
Thanks for watching and listening. See you.
Plus 3.